Welcome in everybody to our YouTube channel here at FantasyPros. I am Lauren Carpenter, and in this video today, I am going to list my top 12 league winners for 2021. Number 12, Traquan Smith. The fantasy world went gaga over Marquez Callaway's 100 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns in the Saints' Monday night win, but let's dial it down just a bit, folks. Smith is still the more reliable option in an offense without Michael Thomas and continues to see his ADP depressed despite the fact that he'll be the undisputed wide receiver 1 for as long as Thomas is on the sidelines. Number 11, Javonte Williams. Williams is the dictionary definition of league winner. He's being taken as the 28th running back off the board in consensus ADP, but has a clear path to the starting role with the Broncos. There's a ton of uncertainty surrounding Melvin Gordon, to the point where he's actually being drafted behind Williams. Invest in Williams and he just might win you a fantasy title. Number 10, Mike Davis. The fantasy community isn't quite buying into the idea of Davis as a workhorse back this year, and I can't quite understand why. He saw a ton of work in relief of the injured Christian McCaffrey in Carolina last season, and that volume carried him to the RB15 finish in half PPR scoring. He's expected to be the man in Atlanta, and even a repeat of last year will mean big-time value on his RB22 ranking. Number 9, Jonnu Smith. We thought about having Kyle Yates do this write-up, but passed when we realized that likely it would consist of emojis, of fire, and hearts. Smith might have to share tight end duties with Hunter Henry, but he's expected to be the better fantasy option of the two, and in an offense that relies heavily on pass-catching tight ends, Smith could see plenty of volume in 2021. Number 8, Deontay Johnson. Ben Roethlisberger has made a living out of creating fantasy stud receivers, so Johnson could be the next man up. Double-digit drops last season might have lowered his ADP in 2021, but make no mistake, Johnson has one of the safest target floors of any receiver outside the top tier. He led the NFL in target rate per snaps played and should be among the leaders again this year. Number 7, Brandon Ayuk. From the moment Ayuk earned a larger role in San Francisco, he capitalized, finishing as the wide receiver 15 from week 4 to week 16. The return of George Kittle and a somewhat crowded receiving core might leave Ayuk relying more on efficiency over volume, but he has the goods to deliver. He's the current wide receiver 24 in our expert consensus rankings, but his potential is closer to the top 12. Number 6, Courtland Sutton. Somebody from the Denver passing game is going to thrive in 2021. It's just a matter of figuring out who that's going to be. And given that Sutton has the lowest draft cost of the entire group of wide receivers, it'll cost you very little to take a shot on him. Sutton had more than 1,100 receiving yards in 2019 and is expected to be in full health going into this season after tearing his ACL in the 2020 season opener. Number 5, Matthew Stafford. It was my St. Louis girl, Sheryl Crow, who suggested that a change would do you good. And while she wasn't talking about Matthew Stafford at the time, he was only 9 years old when the song came out, it's clear that a move to LA is going to do him a lot of good, especially in fantasy. The Rams' pass-catching core is a huge step up from what he had in Detroit, giving him big-time upside as a QB11 in ADP. Number 4, Ryan Tannehill. He doesn't slash and dash like Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes, and he doesn't have a cannon like Aaron Rodgers or Justin Herbert. So why Ryan Tannehill? Yeah, it's sort of boring, but not for fantasy managers who watched him finish as the QB7 a season ago and who now has a brand new weapon in Julio Jones. You can get him in the middle to late rounds as a veteran quarterback with league-winning upside. Number 3, Damian Harris. Harris needs help to be a true league winner, but that help could be coming earlier in the season than most expect. A switch from Cam Newton to Mac Jones would open up a world of possibilities for Harris, who lost the majority of red zone carries to Newton last season. In fact, Newton was the second leading rusher on the Patriots behind Harris. It might not happen right away, but Jones will be the Patriots starter eventually, and when he is, Harris's value should skyrocket. It only helps that Sony Michel was just traded to the Rams. Number 2, Chris Carson. Carson finished as an RB1 in more than a third of the 41 NFL games he has played over the past 3 years, and was the RB17 last season despite missing 4 games. He has scored exactly 9 touchdowns in each of the previous 3 seasons, too. Simply put, he's undervalued and he could provide huge upside as long as he can stay on the field. And at number 1, we have Darren Waller. For those of you who want big numbers from the tight end spot but don't want to pay the first round price tag for someone like Travis Kelce, look no further than Darren Waller. This guy is a lock for 100 catches again in 2021 and can be available 15 to 20 picks later than his Kansas City counterpart. Landing a pair of studs with your first 2 picks, then snagging Waller in round 3 is a great start. And there you have it. Those are my top 12 league winners for 2021. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and like this video and make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, as well as following us on all of our social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at FantasyPros, so you don't miss out on any of the content that we're putting out for draft season, for regular season, all the help you can get. We've got you covered.